just finished dynoing the 2JZ Swapped E30 with a DCT transmission. And we ran it up to
your mom's house.
Ran it up to your mom's house, that's right. Look what day it is. It's dyno day. What did you say? So, cover's off. We were fooling some people last week. We put the BMW cover on it just to mess with some people.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
But anyways, we got it on the dyno. I think the last time it was on the dyno was just like after I'd done some 6130s on pump gas. It made like it made 385 on wastegate, 10 pounds. And then I turned it up to 20 pounds and it made like 485, but I pulled all the nuts out of it, pulled all the timing out of it. I think I'd explained that before, that on the 6130, I felt like I was getting some pre-ignition. And so I turned it all down. Oh boy. So I turned it all down. So where are we at right now? We went and did some 6130 pulls in it on wastegate E85. The best I could get out of it was what was it? What's this thing look like? It's a solar eclipse today. Can't really see it though. What did I get on the E85 on wastegate? It was no. On wastegate E85 was 811. 811 on wastegate. On wastegate, that was 10 pounds. On 20 pounds, really under, it was like 19 pounds, we did 587. And the last week, I took it out, we ran it on 29 pounds and we went 462. That's currently the fastest 6130 E30 in America, number 9 in the world according to Draghi. So we're chasing that record now because that was relatively easy to do. But what we're gonna do is dyno it and see where it's at. Now this is 100% street tuned. We did just do a 10 PSI pull on it. This was just setting it up, first pull right off the bat, no changes. And here we are, we made 400 and basically 410 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque. And the curve looks really good. What I'm chasing right now is a drop off. I want to see if it's dropping off after 6,500 RPMs or 6,000, because when I shift, it goes to about 6,000 and carries over. Well, on 10 pounds, it's good. It doesn't really fall that bad. But on 29 pounds, we're probably going to end up seeing a bit of a drop off, and then I want to put a different intake manifold on it to carry the curve like it's doing on 10 pounds. I want to carry the curve or possibly increase the curve. I might pick up 50 horsepower with the intake manifold, you never know. So anyways, I'm gonna do another backup run just to make sure the dyno is performing correctly. We're gonna do a 10-pound pull. And I'm gonna turn it up to 20 pounds. And then after that, I'm going to turn it up to the same settings that I ran the 462 on, which was about 29 pounds. And we're gonna see what kind of power it makes there. I'm expecting in the 700s, but I don't know. And if it doesn't hit 700s, I'm not too worried about it. I don't care. We went 460s. That's all I care about. It's fast. So anyways, we're about to do it one more time and see what happens. This will be 20 pounds. That's it. So we made 595, 532 foot-pounds. That was on 19 pounds. That was, and honestly, it was kind of creeping up a little bit. So it wasn't a whole lot of boost, but I mean, we know on 20 pounds it's going to make well over 600. So I'm going to click it up one more to try to get around 20. It'll probably be between 20 and 21, but I just kind of want to see what it's going to make on 20 pounds. I know it's going to be 600 something. So we're going to make that pull here in a second. Did find out that my intake air temperature sensor took a shit, and it's not the sensor really, it's the terminal backed out on the connector. So Justin's gonna fix it real quick, and then we're gonna stick it back on there, and we're gonna make another pull. We're gonna do a 20-pound pull, 20, 21, somewhere around there, and we'll see the 600s, and then we'll crank it up a little bit more. We'll go to maybe 25 or so, and we'll end up at 28, 29. We'll see what it makes. So we went from 19.5 pounds of boost to 20, right at 22. We're just gonna, it was like average was 21.5. So we'll just say from 19.5 to 21.5. We went from 594 horsepower to 656 horsepower. So we're in the 650s on about 21.5 pounds. It's picking up 20 horsepower per pound of boost at this point. I think that's okay. If we do the math real quick, it did just overlay it with the with 10 pounds. So So there we go. So this is, you know, 10 pounds did 411, and then 19.5 did 594. So let's just split the difference. Let's just say 10 pounds. That's 18.5 horsepower per pound. And then we went from, we did a 3 psi increase on the top end, and we increased it by 20 horsepower, roughly 20 horsepower per pound of boost. So we can still, that tells me that we can still turn it up a little bit more, make a little bit more power. My fear is that the exhaust manifold's not going to hold up to any more boost past 28, 29 pounds. I don't think we're going to see any increases because my 6130s didn't show any increases. So that's my theory. It's a log manifold. They're known for this. I think that pressure's too high. We're going to double check it. I don't have a back pressure sensor. That'll go on my next setup. I just really wasn't expecting to make this kind of jam on this setup to need it. Honestly, I should add it, but this setup's not going to last very long. And then of course the intake manifold was the other thing. The power is dropping off after 6,500 as we expected. If we take this smoothing down, you can really tell. And what we'll do is we'll take the other graphs out, and you can tell, like right there at 6,000 RPM, it starts to decrease. So on the cursor at 6,000, it's making 665, and then by 7,000, it's making 626. So it's a 30 horsepower decrease. And what's happening is I'm shifting at 6, and I'm taking it out there. So my power band is just increasing just for a split second, and then it's constantly dropping off. With an intake manifold, I think what's going to happen is we're going to see it shift at 6,000. I think we're gonna see an increase before it, but it's going to be up here, and then it's going to start kind of going a little higher. So I think the 650 with that intake manifold might actually net us somewhere closer to 700 at the top of the power band. That's what we're going to look for, and that's what we're going to change next. So anyways, we are going to make another pull. I think this will be about 25 pounds. This should get us close to 700. Woo! Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Just finished dynoing the 2JZ Swapped E30 with a DCT transmission. And we ran it up to
Your mom's house.
Ran it up to your mom's house, that's right. So I had to switch to my phone to get this. So as you guys can see, this was on 10 pounds of boost. We made 411 horsepower and 402 foot-pounds of torque. That curve is pretty nice. It looks pretty good. I mean, it carries power air all the way out. Now, it is showing what I was afraid of. At 6,500 RPMs, you see that the power starts to dip down. Okay, and then there's the rev limiter, okay? So my theory is either the power can go straight across and maybe carry it out to 75, 76, 78, 8,000, something like that, or maybe it'll go continue to rise and then start to curve out. If it goes straight, we just picked up all that power under the curve right there. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're chasing time, that's a good bit. And if it continues to go up, well, then we gained even more. Shifts the power band to the right. Instead of getting down to 6,000 RPMs on this shift, I might be able to get down to 6,500 on the shift, which is right where peak's at right now. I believe peak was 63. So it's just giving me a broader, and it's not necessarily a broader power band, it's giving me more power after the shift. I have more power within my power band. Now, we can expect this torque curve to drop significantly. More than likely, you're gonna see this curve more or less kind of do like that. And it'll probably still make close to the peak torque, but it's gonna be less gradual. It's almost gonna follow this curve right here. But that's fine because we kind of need some help down low anyways. So, did that. I have a bunch of runs in between, but I kind of went straight to 19 pounds. Ooh, off the charts. Let me zoom that out. Okay. So this is 19 pounds. 594, 532 pounds. I'm sorry, foot-pounds. So my theory, I didn't do it on 20, but 20 pounds, we're just going to say it makes 600 horsepower on 20 pounds. Kind of the same deal. 6,500 RPMs, power starts to drop. Yeah, I'm only revving out to 7,500 at the most. I get cuts right before that. So if I can expand that power band out, then this 595 turns into maybe 620. And then we turn it up a few more times, but really let's just get to the meat and potatoes of things. We turned it up to 28 pounds. 29 pounds. And we made 755. Kind of the same deal going on, although it did carry out at higher boost a lot better. That power band is why this car is so fast. It makes 650 foot-pounds of torque at 5,500 RPMs, 5,700 RPMs, and then it's just flat out just booking it. Every time I shift, it's, shifting over here and then bam, shifting, bam. It's just making somewhere in the 700s all the time. We did do a glory run, and I say glory run, this really was just my backup for my data, because I was thinking maybe my manifold's choking because the car's not going any faster with more boost. So we ran it up to 32 pounds boost. And I dropped torque down because I was kind of afraid of the stock rods. So overlaying it from the other run, everything's pretty much the same, but I pulled boost between 4,500 and 5,500 RPMs. Now, it didn't recover boost very quickly. It took a really long time, so that I kind of need to play with if I'm going to do this. But you can see the gain was so minuscule. It makes no point. It makes no sense to me to run any more horsepower, any more boost. I'm sorry. Just for that little bit of gain, it's minuscule. It's 5 horsepower. It doesn't mean anything. So that told me right there that this turbo was running out of steam. Either the turbo's running out of steam or the manifold's running out of steam. I'm pretty positive it's the manifold. A lot of guys don't run that kind of boost on the cast manifold. Gammonig. They don't really run that kind of boost on that manifold. They usually run higher boost on tubulars because they don't have as bad of a back pressure problem. I am on a 1.0 housing. It's a divided housing. Oh, covering the lens. It's a 1.0 divided housing, and it's on an open volute manifold, so it might have a little bit of restriction there. Who knows? So I think I'm gonna buy a divided manifold to use with this divided housing, and that will probably help with just the flow of things. And then we'll see how far we get. I'm expecting it to jump from 750 to 800 at a minimum, with just a manifold change or 2 manifold changes, intake and exhaust manifold. So we'll see if we can make 800 out of it. 50 more horsepower. You know, is it going to make me go faster? Yeah, for sure. The power band will be a little bit more broad. The torque will help me not spin the tires so bad off the line in third gear, and I think we'll see deep into the 450, 440 range without really any changes other than hard parts. And then it's probably going to need more fuel up top, so we'll throw some more fuel at it. To be quite honest, making the videos has been fun, but it's not getting as much feedback as I thought that it would. So I may end the videos. I may just start, you know, just enjoying the car. We've kind of documented it as much as we possibly can on this car anyways. So probably the most that I'll probably do with videos from now on will be, you know, probably show the before and after of the manifolds, show some races, and that's probably it, guys, because it's just not, we're just not getting the views that we thought we would. So unless we can turn that around and we can get more views on this, I think my last one had 400, so it's like, what's the point? Nobody cares. So unless you guys care and you want to share it around, help me out, I'll continue to make videos, but if it doesn't get a response, I'm going to focus my time somewhere else. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy the clips. If you got any suggestions, you want to see something, shout out in the comments, like and subscribe, and share it around for me. Thanks, guys.